When it comes to success in business, I love the term KISS, keep it simple stupid. Customer relationship management is about much more than just using the right software. Building and maintaining strong customer relationships can only ever have a positive effect on you and your business and will ultimately increase your profits. Too many companies are focusing their marketing almost exclusively on the acquisition of new customers at the expense of maximising the sales to their existing buyers. At Hilite, we've always helped our clients attract new customers in big enough numbers to make the marketing exercise viable. However, we wrongly assume that all our clients feed these new buyers into their marketing funnel, which over time would have generated hundreds of thousands of pounds in extra revenue. It's true most do push back-end sales and often quite aggressively, but a recent survey of our clients revealed that most are missing a raft of great opportunities and many have even lost touch with some of their top spending customers. We would all like to see our profits increase, and the key to this may be hidden within your customer database. In this special video, I've highlighted 8 simple ideas that you can put to use quickly and productively. And if you like our ideas, but are already concerned that you're not going to have time to implement them, don't worry. Every idea we give you, we can also action for you. Firstly, look back at your top spending customers 5 years ago. Who were your top 20 spending customers 5 years ago? Are you still working with all of them, and are they all generating the same profit? If we could help you get back in touch with the lapsed customers, how much extra revenue would that generate? How would you convince them to start spending with you again, and have you introduced any new products or improved customer service levels? You need to be certain why they stopped spending with you. Whilst you're looking at a database, when was the last time you cleaned it? And have you ever cleaned it, in fact? One of our clients had such a poor database they were embarrassed to send it to us. They recorded the customer's contact details badly, knew the date that most of them had bought, but that was about it. We were able to update contact details for their customers who'd moved, remove the customers who were deceased, and also append email addresses to many of their records. Now, rather than relying totally on direct mail with its unavoidable costs, they've enabled a new line of communication which is free of charge. Some of the extra fields were easy to append, but many of the old customers had to be called. A carefully constructed script enabled the caller to elicit some of the missing details, and where appropriate, they were even able to reactivate sales with some lapsed customers. No immediate extra profit was made from the calls, but the exercise did break even and will help future sales at no end. You may be put off thinking you don't have the resources for such a time-consuming activity, but this is where you could benefit from using a telemarketing company who know what they're doing. The cost will be far outweighed by the profit generated when you start to reactivate old customers. Secondly, ensure all your customers know everything you offer. Many companies wrongly assume, and we've been guilty of this too, that their customers are fully aware of all the products and services they offer. If you don't tell them, then your competitors are bound to jump in and promote their offerings instead. Perhaps you could set up a new website for existing customers, providing more relevant information on alternative or follow-on products. You could have customer-only special offers to encourage them to keep looking at new product information. Would it be worth maybe compiling a catalogue or a sales brochure which you mail and email to your existing customers a couple of times a year? You may be concerned about the cost involved, but it's a fact that existing customers spend more than new customers, so make sure this is where your marketing budget is focused. My third idea, don't rely solely on email. Like most marketers back in the 90s, we at Hilite got excited with the thought of low-cost email promotion. Surely emailing your house list is a no-brainer. Just the broadcast cost to pay and you can speak regularly to your database, but it's not that simple. I was a keen buyer of one of our clients' products and must have been in their top 5% of buyers. They used to mail me a new offer monthly, but after a year or so I realised that this had stopped. I knew my client was still using cold direct mail to recruit new buyers, so I asked him why he'd stopped his postal mailings to his own database. He said their new accountant spotted they could save £25,000 a month, so they stopped instantly and emailed them instead. When I told him that I'd never been emailed, he said they probably didn't have my email address. So I asked him how many more there were like me, so he said he'd find out. After a week he came back, and to his surprise they were only emailing 65% of their buyers. And when he looked further, he realised only 25% of these emails were actually being opened. The sad thing was that they were saving £25,000 a month in revenue, but losing £35,000 in the profits that direct mail would have bought them. Not only that, but the lifetime customer value dropped, meaning they could no longer afford to break even on the first time sales, and the activity had to be reduced. They were able to get it back on track quickly, but their accountant's cost saving had cost them way in excess of £100,000 in profits over the year. Not that email for customer retention is a bad thing. It's quick and cheap to get a message across to part of your customer base. It just needs to be used in the right way. The best way to relate to your audience is to supply them with useful information they need, not just what you want to tell them. To build a solid relationship with your customers, don't try and ram your products and services down their throat at every opportunity. We were guilty of that in the past with our own marketing, and we saw more and more prospects unsubscribe and the open rates drop. We wanted a cheap way to keep our name in front of clients, especially those who would only use us infrequently. We also wanted to help our clients find new ideas that they could use to boost their bottom line. So the Monday Minute was born. We publish a quick-to-read blog every Monday morning which features response-boosting ideas. We email our list weekly so our prospects don't have to remember to go looking for it. They open it twice as often as our basic sales emails. We get great feedback and the open rates remain high. Sometimes, when appropriate, we may include a subtle plug for our services, but that's not the purpose. Would a Monday Minute idea work for you too? My fourth idea, remember the power of great direct mail. We've just explained how one client lost in excess of £100,000 by abandoning direct mail in favour of cheaper but less effective email. True, direct mail's not cheap, but when you spend your money on a well-crafted direct mail campaign, you can still achieve exceptional returns. As you use your own list, you won't have to pay for list rental, but you should ensure your list is as accurate and up-to-date as possible. You might be surprised at how much money you've wasted already mailing people at the wrong address. Whilst I'm on the subject of mailing costs, I expect you've been using the same mailing house for the last few years. They're probably giving you a preferential rate because you're a loyal customer, but you may still be able to make considerable savings by trying a new company. One of our clients had been using the same mailing house for almost 8 years. They'd seen some elements of mailing increase in price, and every now and then the mailing house would give them a loyalty discount. We've project managed the data side of their mailings for about 5 years, and although we've talked about getting quotes from other mailing houses, they've always felt it was too risky. Their existing mailing house knew how they like to work and let them pop in to check proofs and make last-minute changes. Last year, they were tempted by a particularly competitive quote and took a leap of faith. It wasn't without teething problems. There was an issue over paper colour and quality, but this was ironed out with plenty of time to meet the planned mailing date. The printing costs for this campaign were marginally higher with a new mailing house, but the postage was almost 19% cheaper. In total, they saved just over £1,800 on their 10,000 mailing. They mail 5 times a year, so they're now saving almost £10,000. If you've always relied heavily on email marketing, you may never have collected your customer's postal address. On average, around 35% of records can be appended with a postal address. Unless all your contacts are opening all of their emails every time, you need to be looking at additional ways to keep in touch with your customers. And think carefully about the messages you're sending to your customers. Some clients are able to make a simple catalogue mailing work, but the best results are achieved by clients who are creative with their house mailings. Remember, direct mail doesn't just have to be used to sell your products. It can be a chance to strengthen your customer relationship too. I hope you're already starting to see how much more you could be achieving from the customers you've taken the time and effort to recruit. Idea number 5, pick up the phone. Calling customers is probably one of the most time-consuming and thankless tasks we have to perform. For many, it can be totally unproductive too. But however, with the right approach, speaking to your customers on the phone can result in upsells, reduce refunds, and will help you to maintain a long-term relationship. One of our international mailers was having their products shipped from abroad, and it often took 10 working days to arrive with the customer. Credit card chargebacks were getting high, as were cancellations and refund requests. A quick cuddle call reduced the refunds dramatically, and where the lifetime value of a customer was £150 plus, this was extremely important. The same company's in-house telesales team were refunding 70% of all callers, so we devised a different strategy and reduced the refunds to 30% and were able to upsell another 20% to another product too. Look closely at your customer service telephone scripts and refund policies. Another mailer has a great offer for a trial product they've been promoting through direct mail, email, online and off the page. The only way the customer can order is to phone in. The trial product price is only £10, but the average total order value has now been increased to £90 plus as a result of simple adjustments to the way their incoming calls are handled. And the profit margin is increased dramatically if they can also get them to agree to a continuity program. Idea number 6, embrace social media or risk being left behind. The last 15 years has seen huge changes in the way people share information about companies they love or hate. Whether you realise it or not, people will be talking about your business on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube. Generating higher profits won't come solely from your existing customers, but also from the new customers that they encourage. You need to ensure that you have a strong relationship with your customers so that they're passing on a positive image of your company. Whether it's posting relevant news and updates on Twitter and Facebook, or encouraging your customers to post comments and product reviews online, there are so many ways that you can use social media to promote positive feedback. You can even nullify the impact of any negative comments. Set up Google Alerts for your company and product names, and you will be informed every time you get a mention, good or bad. It's good to hear of the bad comments quickly, so you have the opportunity to do something about it. Idea 7. Strengthen customer relationships. No matter how good you think your product or service is, if customers don't agree, you'll not only get fewer extra sales, but you may get negative social media comments which will go on to affect your new customer recruitment. One of our business opportunity clients sells a business startup manual for £60, knowing that 15% go on to buy a £500 one-day seminar on the subject. Until recently, they've been unhappy with the low numbers attending their seminars, which always get great feedback from the people who do turn up. They only broke even on the first sales, so they weren't prepared to invest in a quality initial product or even basic levels of customer service. They just didn't realise how important this first step on the customer journey was. With just a few simple changes that were cheap to implement, refunds were reduced and the all-important conversion to seminar buyers increased to 20% and profits rose by 25%. The added bonus was fewer negative posts on social media and even a few extra positive ones. If you have a strong relationship, your customer is more likely to continue spending and will recommend your business to a friend or colleague. You could consider an incentive program for existing customers recommending your business. Then, to tie them in, you double the value of the incentive. They will hopefully be encouraged to look for more friends to recommend and will be an even stronger advocate in future. You could also send out a customer survey. A well-designed questionnaire will serve several purposes. It will reinforce the benefits of buying from you, identify problems and personally rectify any issues found quickly, and solicit testimonials. A simple open-ended other comments should get 10% of responders giving you great testimonials, and discover if there are any other products or services they would buy if you offered them. And my final idea for now, set yourself goals. I love targets. My forecasts are nearly always off, but the constant monitoring of what you're actually doing against these targets will focus your mind. If you're down on your forecasts, you look for ways to improve. But if you're beating your forecast, you're highly motivated to do even better. Not that your targets need to be huge. Small improvements can make big differences. Examples we've seen work well. Reduce refunds by 25% listen to why people cancel and make changes. Sell a second product within 30 days of the first sale. A two-time buyer is 60% more likely to buy from you again than a one-time buyer. Sell a product on subscription to at least 10% of all buyers. Subscriptions, especially those where the money is collected automatically, massively increases the lifetime value of every buyer. Find a product or service that's complementary to your own that will sell to 20% of the customer base. Make the most of the trust your customers have in you to sell something with a high margin which may be difficult to sell to a new audience. Okay, so let's talk numbers and see how your profits could actually be doubled. One client's annual sales were around £500,000. They had £50,000 of refunds and made £50,000 a year profit. Reducing refunds actually added £10,000 to the bottom line. The quick second sale broke even, but increased repeat sales by £50,000 over the next 12 months, adding another £10,000 to the bottom line. 500 buyers went on to buy a new yearly £100 yearly subscription product, generating £50,000 of extra sales. Marketing costs were small, and even with the setup costs, £20,000 was added to the bottom line. They bought in a new product from a trusted supplier with a high margin, and 1,000 people purchased it, so that was another £10,000 profit. That adds up to £50,000 extra profit. Profit doubled. Job done. I'm confident you will have seen what a huge topic customer relationship management is, and how, by handling it right, you can see your profits soar. At Hilite, we've always been proud of the strong relationships we have with our clients. We're still working with many of our original clients, and that's after almost 30 years. So we've decided to launch Hilite CRM, a new department totally dedicated to this area. We simply want others to benefit from our expertise. Hopefully, you'll see how you can quickly implement some of the 8 ideas given I've talked through in this report. Maybe you can see the benefit but just can't see when you will have time to set aside all this. We all have the right intentions, but often important things, however easy, get moved to the bottom of your to-do list. But that's where we come in. We have many more ideas to help you generate increased profits from your existing customers, and we'd love to share them with you. We're currently offering a free 30-minute Business Accelerator consultation. We'll talk about what you're already doing right, and then we'll look at what else we could implement to secure longer lasting, more profitable relationships with your customers. Call us today to book your free consultation. We may even be able to save you money along the way too.